the jam track that we just had, that chilling at the lounge or whatever it was, that was my first time trying to improvise, really. And I got feedback from Gabe, and maybe I should be talking to him about this, but the time frames for his live stream don't really match with my schedule. This is much more convenient for me. So he was saying that I really need to concentrate on phrasing. You know, I'm a blues focused player, and chilling at the lounge actually did sort of work with some blues licks, which was kind of cool. But yeah, he said that, he said I have a long way to go, or not a lot of work to do, but phrasing was the first place that he thinks I should start. So could you just talk about how to phrase, what to look for, and maybe there you have a phrasing exercise? I haven't looked forward in the module yet to see if there's anything like that. But just like, that's kind of my question.
Sure. Yeah, sounds good, man. So phrasing is basically the best way to think about it is if I play the same line and make it sound differently, like I could play the same line 3 times and make it sound different each time, right?
Okay.
If I were to play like maybe a bluesy sort of lick, like something like that, I can make it sound different depending on how I accent the notes, how aggressively I play the notes, right? How softly I play the notes. So like so I'm playing the same lick, but like the last time I played it was a little staccato. I had some palm muting in there. I was playing it softly. I was playing it like really aggressively, right? So like this is what phrasing is, right? And what I find a common mistake is just let me. I'm going to change my tone really quick because I think that I can get a better tone. I don't think this is the best tone to use for this subject. Oh, there we go. I think this one's a little better.
Yeah.
So basically, what I find a lot of less experienced or intermediate guys will do when they improvise is they actually don't have any phrasing at all. Everything sounds the same, right?
Right.
So the problem with that is it just becomes a lot more monotonous, right? So if you imagine someone just doing something like
Yeah.
It sounds the same. Like I'm playing different notes, but everything sounds the same. It's phrased the exact same way.
Yeah.
Whereas if I wanted to phrase things a little differently, maybe I could play something like this.
Right.
And just kind of add some shape to it, make things sound more interesting, right?
Yeah, Gabe was talking about sort of like, using phrasing to, it sounds kind of cliche, but like to tell a story and to try to construct sentences with your phrases, which is kind of like, that's kind of a mystery to me, being beginner, I I can kind of listen to like SRV, and sort of kind of get what Gabe's saying, but it just kind of is sort of a gray area of like how do you know accomplish something like that, even on a really sort of beginner scale.
Yeah, well, sometimes I find it actually is a very good exercise to only work with one scale. Uh,
Uh-huh.
because if you're only working with that one scale, I mean, you're not going to practice something like this with a scale you're not comfortable with, right? Because
Right.
then you're going to be looking for notes. So you're
Right.
actually you're practicing the scale, not phrasing at that point, right?
Right. Right.
So
Yeah.
when you practice this stuff, you want to use a scale that you're familiar with. So let's what key, that song was in F sharp minor, wasn't it? That
Yeah.
track, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like and what Gabe is saying when he says you want to kind of think in sentences, like musical sentences,
Mm-hmm.
it's like we're having a conversation right now, and
Right.
there's space between our statements. But if I were to talk like this and just keep talking and never really stop talking and just keep the same pace and just say things for the sake of saying things and not really go anywhere and not have any real meaning behind my words and just kind of keep
Yeah.
saying and never stop talking, it sounds like a run-on sentence, and that's how a lot of people play.
Gotcha.
Right. So the easiest way to make your lines sound like they are actually like the start and end of a sentence, like a complete sentence, is take your hand off the neck. Right? Just
Okay.
remove your hand, leave some space, right?
Okay. Gotcha. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's these are all things that you can do to work on your phrasing, right? Like so there's like playing phrases, and then there's the way that you phrase those phrases. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. It does. It's It's kind of the way you phrase the phrases would be kind of like if your phrases are sentences, then your phrasing of phrases would be like a paragraph, right? Something like that. I don't know.
What I mean is like, okay, I'll create a sentence, and this will be my phrase. The dog fell into water. That's my phrase. Okay.
Right.
Now I can phrase it differently. The dog fell into water.
Right.
The dog fell into water. The dog fell into water. Right? You see what I'm doing here? So like it's the same phrase, but it's different.
Gotcha. Okay.
To translate that to your lines, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.